Starting here with some NBA Live Q&A. This question coming in from Jason. He uses that hashtag NBA. That's how you get on the show. He says, who do you think won the Westbrook trade and the Anthony Davis trade? Also, what do you think of Tristan Thompson and 5 first-round picks to the Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo? We got 3 questions in one. You're kind of cheating the system there, Jason, but we're going to let it slide. Russell Westbrook trade, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder won that one at this point in time. I mean, maybe for the long term, the Rockets will have won that one, but when you're getting picks and Chris Paul is leading you to the playoffs, giving the edge to the Thunder in that one. The Anthony Davis trade, pretty obvious to me. You get a top 5 player in the NBA, you win the trade. So the Lakers won that one, although I do love me some Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart as well. Now, the final question is an easy no from the Milwaukee Bucks. Tristan Thompson and not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 first-round picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm sorry, but it's not going to get it done. Tristan Thompson is not worth it. 5 first-round picks is not worth it because you've got Giannis for the next 10 to 15 years. Now, speaking of Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's in the running for MVP. In fact, he's probably top 2. I think he's top 1. So, who you got in MVP voting this year? Type G for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Type L for LeBron James. Rashard Lee is taking LeBron James. Isles is taking LeBron James. I've got 1 Giannis in there, 2 Giannis's in there. A few more L's and a few more G's rolling through here in the live chat. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's my MVP this year. Thursday night, Rashard Lee, that's when the Los Angeles Clippers and the Los Angeles Lakers played. And that is the question here from Rashard. He said, how was LeBron's defense on Thursday night? I'll tell you what. First half, not good. Second half, however, was absolutely incredible. He got stuck on Kawhi Leonard. He got stuck on Paul George, and he defended them beautifully. He defended them like the king that he is. In fact, his defense is the reason they won this game. LeBron starts on Kawhi Leonard in that last possession. Let me take you back. Let's do a little play-by-play here. LeBron starts on Kawhi Leonard with 12 seconds remaining. He gets screened off of Kawhi. The ball goes to Paul George. LeBron forces a switch and switches onto PG and then forces him into a terrible shot, winning the game 103-101. So second half defense, which is when it really matters, was magnificent from LeBron. I loved what I saw, and I think he'll just have to keep it up if the Lakers want to continue to push in the NBA playoffs. Now, I told you about our deals with the NBA face masks. I'm going to tell you about our deal here with NBA hats. Chatsports.com/NBA hat. Whatever team you rep, you can get as low as $5. Why wouldn't you go get a hat for $5? Cover up that head you got, put it on over some bed head, and rep your team all day long. Chatsports.com/NBA hat. Use promo code CONE to get them as low as $5. It's the best way to do it. Fanatics is the best way to shop for all NBA fans. So go to chatsports.com/NBA hat. This question rolling in here from my good buddy Bryce Wallace. He's asking Mavs first round matchup possibility. Well, right now, as it currently stands, the Mavs would play the Los Angeles Clippers. That's not who they want to play. In fact, I don't even believe that's who they'll play because I believe the Mavs are going to move up from that 7th seed and get up to probably about 6, maybe as high as 5. And I think the best team for them to play in that first round is the Houston Rockets. I will just have to wait and see if that actually happens, but I think the Rockets would be the best matchup. I think the Clippers might be the most likely matchup, unfortunately, for the Mavs. This question coming in from Isles Fan for Life. Did the Nets make the playoffs? Here's the deal. Let's go ahead and map it out for you. All the teams that are invited to the bubble are fighting for the 8th seed. The Nets are fighting for the 8th seed, the Magic, and the Washington Wizards. As it currently stands, the Nets are in the playoffs, but they could fall out. If the Wizards catch them or if they beat them in a play-in tournament, they could beat them and sneak in to the playoffs. So as it stands right now, the Nets are in the playoffs, but it's not 100% sure that they will remain in the playoffs as the bubble gets going. Keep the questions coming here on our live Q&A. Kevin Otto asks, who are some players most likely to be traded this offseason? Well, just talked about it, and we're going to put it up on the channel later. Kevin Love is definitely a prime candidate to be moved. However, that contract is really, really hard to move. Kevin Love is going to be difficult to trade away when he's owed over $90 million for the next 3 years. So my prediction, the one guy that I think is going to be moved this year that is a big name, Aaron Gordon of the Orlando Magic. He's playing as we record this video right now, but I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be in Orlando Magic jersey. And I think some team's going to be really, really lucky to get him at just 24 years old. Another question rolling in here. Use that hashtag NBA to get your questions on the show. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, but shout out to you, bro, for asking the questions. He says, is there a chance of the Mavs getting Davis Bertans in the offseason and putting him on the team? Here's the thing with Davis Bertans. The Washington Wizards don't want to lose him. So they're going to pay him a lot of money because he is one of, if not the best big man shooter in the league today. I think the chances are low only because the Mavs don't have the money to pay him. Now, however, keep this in mind. If Tim Hardaway Jr. opts out of his $18 million player option, there is definitely a possibility the Mavs use that money they save to go and chase a guy like Davis Bertans. Thanks for asking the questions. Keep those questions coming here by using hashtag NBA in the chat. We'll pull your questions up here live on screen like Nicholas May here. How do you think the teams will counter the Nuggets all-big lineup? That's a great question, Nicholas, because that lineup is insane. You got Paul Millsap. You got Nikola Jokic. You've got Bol. There's also Jamal Murray and Gary Harris that play a lot of minutes. However, when the NBA season actually gets going and when the Nuggets start to actually play their normal rotation minutes, I don't think Bol, Nikola Jokic, and Paul Millsap are all going to start together. But we could see some Bol and Nikola Jokic minutes, and that would be a lot of fun. How are teams going to counter it? I have no idea. I think the only way you can counter an all-big lineup is going with an all-small lineup like the Houston Rockets go, and you just have to outrun them and dictate the pace. That is the only way you're going to beat a lineup with that much size. But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the Denver Nuggets later in the playoffs and in the NBA bubble as they continue to get going. Now, there's 3 teams at the top of the Western Conference, and so I'm going to ask you right here. Who do you think the Western Conference champions will be this year in the NBA bubble? If you think it's the Lakers, type L. If you think it's the Nuggets, type N. If you think it's the Clippers, type C. If you got another team, shout it out in the comment section and in the live chat. Rashard Lee says the Mavs. Fletcher is saying the Los Angeles Clippers. Naod Yamani says the Los Angeles Lakers. Nicholas saying the Clippers. I'm seeing a lot of Lakers votes here. The only team I'm seeing being shouted out, Santiago's got the Houston Rockets as a dark horse team. I've seen a lot of Mavs. I've seen a lot of Rockets. Haven't seen any Denver Nugget votes quite yet, but I think the Denver Nuggets are a dark horse to sneak in there, and I'm sure we'll talk about that here later on the show. Last question here on the NBA Q&A for now, but we got some more Q&A coming up for you, so use that hashtag NBA to keep them coming in the live chat, or send us your super chats, send us your money, and we'll put you up on screen. Ethan Turner asks, will the bubble work? And I'll tell you what right now, Ethan, the bubble's working, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from the NBA. I've loved what I've seen from Adam Silver. They've put a lot of great thought into this whole thing, and I think it's going to continue to work. The NBA playoffs, I hope, get played, and I hope we see an NBA champion get crowned because this NBA bubble has been fun to watch. They're doing all they can, keeping everyone socially distanced, wearing their masks. That is all very, very important, and they're doing it in the bubble. So, yes, the NBA bubble will work. Thanks for your questions, guys.